Hi, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross stitch.
One stitch at a time.
Don't have to say this is the farm where she grows cross stitch.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Like, at least I know where my bug is. It's passed out in the back.
I was going to say, is it in the pool?
No, I haven't gone to bed before 1 o'clock in a week and a half to 2 weeks.
I had a rough time sleeping too this weekend. It's Monday, July 25th.
Sorry. Like, I was actually planning on doing some things today. It's probably getting done tomorrow because I'm going to probably pass out because it's going to be cold tonight.
It has been ridiculously hot. Like everywhere, basically.
And humid.
And, I think both of us have had problems with that. Thunderstorms roll through at sleepy times, and Laura doesn't like that.
My body tried to overcompensate, and Laura had to wake me up during the weekend, which was still a little too late. But thank you for not letting me sleep until I completely, totally lost my mind. Left unattended, I can sleep until noon. When I get like this, which is not good, because when I get to work, I have literally 2 hours of sleep. Yes, I did it before. Yes, it was 4:30 before I went to sleep, and I got up at 6:30 to go to work. That was one of the worst days of my life.
So we're both kind of tired. The weather's been icky. And even though we have air conditioning, you can still feel the humidity, I think.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, our house, it's not perfectly set up for central air because the house is so old.
It was built in 1905. It happens.
So it's good, but it's not perfect.
It's better than if we didn't have air conditioning at all.
Then I wouldn't be sleeping at all. And I will apologize in advance. As many of you probably know who watches for a while, I have ADHD. One of the weird quirks about ADHD is that when I'm tired, I get hyper because I actually spend a lot of my energy slowing myself down, and I'm running low on energy. So as weird as this is going to sound, because I'm tired, I'm probably going to be hyper. You've been warned.
Other than it being hot, it's a decent week.
Beautiful pool weather.
Great pool weather. I enjoyed that pool this week, man.
I even got to go in it.
Mm-hmm. And the church had the parish festival over the weekend. That was fun. They had a big old hot air balloon set up. Because they showed the movie Up. They didn't do fireworks this year, and somebody didn't tell the neighbors. A couple houses down was setting off fireworks when they traditionally would have done the fireworks for the church festival. But the church festival didn't have fireworks this year.
Probably due to the most logical reason ever.
Well, yeah, cost, and it was awful dry this year, so. It's been awful dry this year up until, this week. We've just now gotten a decent amount of rain.
Yeah.
Maybe
also, with the noise ordinance laws, they had it for certain holidays, so it might have made it harder to do it at different times.
Yeah, I don't know what motivated the change from the fireworks. I'm not on the parish festival committee.
And I didn't bother asking the
and we didn't
John
ask
yesterday.
We just didn't ask, so.
Not that big of a deal.
It's really not.
How y'all been?
How was y'all's week? Yeah, dude. Next week is August. I'm not prepared.
Can I tell a funny story?
Yes, tell a funny story.
One of the guys that I have known and worked with, since before he met his wife, and they've been together for a while. I think I've known this guy 12 plus years now. And he found out a week ago that I cross-stitch. I don't exactly hide it, but I don't advertise it at work. It's it's come up. And then I was like, oh yeah, and I have a cross-stitch YouTube. Because we were talking about YouTube channels. And he's like, you have a cross-stitch YouTube? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's the name? I'm like, The Slovak Farm. He's like, great, because my wife loves cross-stitching. And I'm like, why haven't you shared this information before?
I just punched myself in the face.
I don't think that's why.
I shouldn't have said anything. Just let y'all
So-
comment about it.
So last week, his wife decided to check us out. I think that's funny.
That is funny. That is funny.
But it's just like, dude, I've been talking about. I have not been, like, I haven't been bragging about it, but I haven't been quiet about it either. How have you not heard me talk about this yet? I mean, do I look like a quiet human being?
No, you are not a quiet human
I
being.
talk in my sleep.
You do. You told me you don't want any peas and carrots.
That was over a decade ago.
But it's still funny.
Commenter time?
Yes. It's been kind of an uneventful week, which I'm thankful for.
God help us, thank you. Bridget, Pauline, Andrea, Lynn, the different Bridget.
Yes, I know more than one Bridget.
Now she went from hibernation back to Angie. Okay, hi Angie. Why are you confusing me?
Because she just wants to confuse you.
The Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs? Okay. Teresa, Glenna, and Tamara. Hi, y'all. What's up?
Hi, y'all. What's up?
Thank you for the comments.
Should we go on to whips?
Sure, let's keep this party train going.
Whoop, whoop.
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo choo!
Whips. You have no whippies.
My buggy is asleep right now. I'm going to
Buggy.
join it, or at least soon enough.
Your boogie taking a nap in the bed. I don't know where that came from. This is what I do when I'm tired. Okay. So, last week was Fairy Tale Week in Daily 30. And the idiot that wrote the post was struggle busing with her stitching for the post. I love it when I do that, when I go, what was I thinking when I wrote this? Carrie said she has done that several times. I'm like, I can see that. Alright, so let's start with the top. Stitch on a whip that reminds you of an event. And I use this for two. So stitch on a whip that reminds you of an event, and stitch on something that might have several forms. And I said that adopting our dog was quite the event, because in November of 2019, when our Yorkshire Terrier passed away, I think you guys have seen her before if you're long-time viewers, because I started this channel 4 years ago.
She was the picture of this channel when we first started, I
This
believe.
is true. Anyways, moving on. So when our Yorkshire Terrier passed away in 2019, November 2019, I applied to adopt a greyhound, knowing that they did not move hounds from the south until spring because they didn't have heated transportation. Okay, fine. And then a pandemic happened in March of 2020. And the day, we've heard this story before, the day everything closed down in Ohio. My dog arrived in Ohio. It was an event for sure.
Oh, and one random note. We had actually been planning on getting a greyhound for years, but we had to wait for our Yorkie to pass because we knew she was getting up there in age, and two, all dogs were her enemy and must die.
She was not very friendly to other animals.
If you had 2 legs, you were her best friend. If you had 4, you were the enemy and must die. She tried to take a fight with Golden Retriever when she was 12 pounds.
Yeah. So, in honor of those two. So, dogs are beloved in many forms.
Dogs are beloved in all of their
This
forms.
is true. So, I pulled out Lady with Dog, and I did 648 stitches on her. This is the Design Works kit that I got from Joann Fabrics. Just going to need a good bath when I get done with her. As you can see, I have stitched most of the front half of the dog. I have a little bit on its leg. We call this Laura and Bandy because my favorite colors, and a black greyhound.
Black and white greyhound.
Black, well, yeah, black and gray-ish kind of greyhound. My greyhound is going white in her snoot. Dogs do that. So that was the first two prompts. You guys have already seen something that goes in the sky because I used a bird. I will spare you getting that earworm in your hair. Stitch on a project.
Did you just say getting that earworm in your hair?
In your ear.
Oh, I thought you said hair.
No, I said ear. You know what ear we're talking about, right?
I don't know which way is up right now.
I'll spare y'all. Stitch on something that you can relate to love or has strawberries in it. This relates to love. Obviously. Because it's their wedding. So I pulled this out for a fun-filled afternoon of stitching. I hate confetti. I did 204 stitches on this because I hate confetti. This is done on just a white 18 or 16 count. Yes, it's bed sheet. No, I don't care. I still hate confetti. But I'm getting there with the crown confetti. You know. Sorry. Putting this up, putting this way. Okay. Yes.
I just had a really stupid idea.
What?
Would it help with your anger if I just got a bunch of confetti, put it into a cardboard box, and tossed it on the fire?
Maybe.
Burn confetti can burn. And by the way, confetti is in literally colored paper chopped up. I'm not using anything that actually will be a bad thing to burn.
Right. Okay, so then for the last prompt which was to stitch on something that was beloved in many forms. Not something that has different forms, but something that's beloved in different forms, because apparently I just did not pay attention to myself when I was writing these prompts. I'm kind of surprised nobody else has mentioned it.
They're being nice.
And for my Sal prompts, I worked on supernaturals. So I was working on the siren. We now have the werewolf, and we got the changeling on Friday. And how did I incorporate this into something that was beloved in many different forms? Y'all, the number of books, movies, video games, TV shows, you name it, entertainment that has some sort of supernatural in it, or multiple supernaturals in it, is astronomical in this world anymore.
You want something really funny?
We love our supernaturals, and in most cases, they're just a little bit different in variation to variation. So that's what I went with.
Too bad the changeling wasn't there.
Why?
Because many forms is the changeling's whole shtick.
Well, this is true, and we didn't have that one when I posted this as that.
And also, as a D&D mythology nerd, there have been so many variations of the siren. It's not even funny.
What?
They go from beautiful women to beautiful mermaids to ugly ass things that just put you under a spell.
Right. And I mean, I read paranormal romances. Let's be real. The various forms that an author can give, like the various characteristics that an author can give a werewolf and a vampire, and all of those things, and we love them, and we.
As long as they don't sparkle.
Yeah, I'm not into sparkling vampires.
They burn.
So.
Unless they have a magic ring.
Unless they have a lovely little ring. If you get that reference, we are friends.
Comment below. Well,
and tell me.
Just say you get it. Don't say where it's from. Just say you get it.
Someone please get that reference. Okay.
I got that reference.
This is on Heirloom. Slovak Farm, the Heirloom. This is a 32 count. So. And I am adding a little bit of sparkle to my siren. I'm using one strand of like regular cotton floss and then a strand of metallic. Just a little bit of sparkle. You're probably not going to see it on the camera, but it's just like a little bit of shimmer because she is charted as like a mermaid looking siren. So I thought that little sparkly shimmer from being, because mermaids, you know, because water makes things kind of shimmer. I thought it was a nice little touch. I know. I'm weird.
Not for that reason. You have much more important reasons on why you're weird.
Yes, I know. Okay.
I love you.
So, I love you. As I punch you in the face. Okay. So, we went
Tough
into the
love.
monthly. And something that could be shared. I kind of struggle bust with this because I'm like, what do I have that really we could say could be shared? But I came up with this really good one. We share our homes with our friends and our family when they come to visit us. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I went with, so I could work on my Dimensions Victorian Way.
Just a really stupid thing I would say, and I literally
By
just
the way,
thought
this
of
is
it.
copyrighted 1998.
But you know what I would have said?
What?
You can share a carriage.
I thought of that after I had posted my We Can Share Our Home.
I figured.
But anyways. Yeah, and I only did one prompt on that. Oh, the traffic is real. So I did 304 stitches on it. As you can see, we have a horse, a dude, and a carriage. I think, no, I need to finish up some greenery down here and then some sidewalk and some street. Then I'm going to work on backstitching this guy, this house area. I may not get all of the backstitching in this central area done just because of how backstitching overlaps and how the houses are charted. But I figure, y'all know, if you've ever done a dimensions kit, you know backstitching can be real on those, so. And you guys have seen Scenic Farm. So, and then for my last two monthlies, stitch on something that depicts a time of day and stitch on your most difficult whip. I pulled out Tale as Old as Time because it was its day to be stitched on. Because there's obviously night when the enchantress shows up to the beast. So I did 608 stitches on this. This is on a Silk Weaver's, don't know what it's called, I lost the label. It's a 16 count, I think. I finally got the 819 to fill in. Hello, dog! To start filling in the towers. So I did that because after I finished this block, I was really irritated with this. There are just so many colors. And this is why I put it up as my most difficult whip. Because I was not told that there was going to be fractional stitches in this when I was told that it would be perfect on Ada. And there is no less than 10 colors in each of these blocks.
With fractional stitches.
With fractional stitches. And y'all can see these blocks are not that big. So it is difficult. I'm nowhere close to up to date on with where I'm supposed to be at, obviously. And so I just kind of took the easy route and did a bunch of stitches on the towers, which probably a good idea to break up. I have a length of the floss, the floss color on the backside. I'll probably finish that off and break up, doing the towers with doing a block. Just so I'm not going crazy doing the mindless block, doing the mindless towers, or fighting with the blocks. There's also letters charted for it that say Tale as Old as Time on here, which they're all one color. So I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, finish up. Next time I pull this out, finish up, and I might not even finish up the thread. I might just snip it Work on the next block, and then once I get that block done, switch to doing some endless fill and letters.
Did I stop?
Apparently. Apparently, the four-legged child wants something. So that has been my stitching this week. So there's no haul.
So go to plans and
So let's
announcements.
go to plans and announcements.
All aboard. Next stop, plans and announcements.
Plans and announcements.
Oh,
Plans. You don't have rat plans.
I plan on trying to frickin' stitch something. I could have an arc that's kind of mindless, but I'm just
Something, anything. I just want to stitch.
like, I think I might actually crash after this video so I can actually get some sleep.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. So, plans. This week's Daily 30 prompts are based on the TV series Ghost, a series that was originally started on the BBC. It has moved to, there's an American version of it now. I've been told that the American version is not nearly as funny as the BBC version.
No, it's not.
Which I was just about to say I tend to believe because if somebody's driving down the middle of the... Anyways. Which I tend to believe because, I don't know. There's just something about the British sense of humor. But, shocker, I have not seen either one of them, actually.
I've seen clips of the two, and I actually, one of the streaming services we have actually has the American version, and I looked into it, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the one I saw that was funny. None of the people I saw was funny. I saw some clips for it, I'm like, this is nowhere near as funny.
I think I've seen clips of the BBC version. So that's what this week's prompts are. So stitch on a whip that has a house. Because the premise of the show is a couple bought a house and it's haunted, and she can see the ghost and he can't. So stitch on a whip that has a house. Bonus tokens if you stitch on the actual house in the whip. I've already completed this prompt, but you don't get to see it till next week. Because it was on Scenic Farm. And I still have to stitch 2 days on Scenic Farm for WhipGo, and then I need to do another day on Victorian Way for WhipGo. I finished Letters of the Month with Lady with Dog and Argon and Arwen. So I need to work on WhipGo. Prompt 2 is to stitch on a whip of choice and tell us what character you would be and from what era you would be. And the list of the characters that are the ghosts in the show. So, but it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to relate your whip to...
It also says you don't have to actually pick a character. It's like basically any dead person.
Yeah. I could probably tell you. Let's see. The list is the original BBC series. The writers also played the part of the ghost. Characters included a 1990s politician, a caveman, an 80s scout leader, a World War II army captain, Edwardian and Georgian ladies, Stuart-era witch trial victim, a headless Tudor nobleman, a romantic poet, along with the plague victims that live in the cellar. So, wouldn't it be really funny if I stitched on Victorian Way for that? Because I would be a Victorian ghost. Because the look I'm getting right now.
No, you would be a millennial ghost. I hate to break to you. You don't live in the past. I'm sorry. I know it'd be preferable.
Tell us what your character and from what era you would be. So you get to pick your character.
You know what I was actually going to suggest?
Look, I'm going to be a Victorian ghost because you all know the Victorian ghosts are the ones you see all the time.
I was actually going to say Ulysses S. Grant.
He's not wrong.
You're a Civil War psycho.
I am a Civil War buff.
Psycho.
I'm not psycho because believe you me, if I was psycho, some people
You'd have
would,
costumes?
well, I might have costumes, and some people would not like me because their ability to grasp actual Civil War history is very, extremely incorrect.
Moving on.
Moving along. Stitch on a Whip that was or is a mystery cell or in a subscription box. I literally have 3 mystery cells going, so
Have fun.
I'll just pick one. Probably not Tale's Oldest Time because I'm aggravated
Evil.
with that one.
Next.
Stitch on a Whip that a friend has helped you with. It could be sending an emergency scan of floss, a color conversion, or a how-to. And explain how they helped. Obviously, not obviously. No, that's not the word I was looking for. I don't know what the word I was looking for. But when I first started on Scenic Farm, I've told you this before, I didn't like how it was charted, the background, the half stitches were charted, and how they were called for in different thicknesses of threads. There was lots of consultation with my friends about, do you think this would look right? Does this look okay? Does that look okay? So I'm probably going to go with Scenic Farm.
Because you already said the other one, the most recent one you've gotten help with, you don't want to do.
Huh?
Remember, you need a blanc.
That's true. I have an entire box of DMC Blanc in this house. Do you think I could find it yesterday when I needed 7 stitches of Blanc? Nope.
Luckily, I have a project that has a lot of blanc in it, so I grabbed it out. We said, here, use this, get back.
That's what I did. I stitched my 7 stitches and gave it back. Number 5. Stitch on a Whip you have altered from the original design and explain how. I literally changed the called for thread colors in just about everything because I have so many threads. Easy enough. And then there is a bonus of stitching on a whip of your choice with an episode of either the BBC or the CBS version of the series in the background.
Can you have it muted while listening to the Discovery Plus?
Yes.
So there is one question I have.
Hmm.
Shouldn't they have listed instructions on how you're supposed to watch that episode? I don't know what streaming services have, though.
I don't know.
Okay.
So that's all the prompts for this week. I need to replace cardinal points on the monthly rotation, or the stitch on it once a month rotation, and I have been debating since I finished cardinal points about what to do for that spot. I thought, well, I could put something that's close to a finish in there. Get me finished on them, but I'm like, nah, they're close to finish anyways. The point of my little rotation this year is to get a significant amount of progress on the stitches each month. Or, to get progress on it each month. I thought about doing one of my Sal's. Either Supernaturals or Fall on the Farm. There was something else that I thought I was going to put on there. I don't know. I think I probably thought about putting everything on there. But I think actually what I'm going to do, because I haven't touched them since March, is the ornaments. I'm focused on doing ornaments at least once a month. Because clearly my plan of I'll work them in where I can on prompts is not working because I'm not doing that. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I have several in there that are super close to being finished. So it's like, maybe you need to do that there, knucklehead.
You're not a knucklehead.
But I am. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sound like a good plan? Mr. I'm gonna be hyper this episode has been.
Do you really want me to let that out?
No. I've been watching. I started watching. I was gonna start watching it when the first episode premiered 2 weeks ago now. The History Channel limited documentary series on the Colosseum. It's on Sunday nights. The first episode was 2 weeks ago. The second episode was last night. But you don't really need to watch them in order to be aware. Because, like, the first episode was about the fighters, and the second episode was about the guy that built it, or the architect that was behind building it. Really good series. I give History Channel some props. They've been doing pretty good lately. There for a long stretch, they had crap that sucked on there, for the most part.
I see. How do I put this?
They did the Grant documentary, and it started increasing. It started going up significantly. With the Grant documentary, the Abraham Lincoln documentary, they just did Teddy Roosevelt, and all of those were by the same executive producer group or whatever. This one on the Colosseum is very good. Gee, they're actually doing history again. Shocker. Yes.
Can I say my joke now? I've been trying to get a word in edgewise. You were very excited about your topic. I wouldn't say the History Channel lost its way, but they decided to go from New York to LA and wound up in Miami.
They really did divert off of. And I'm not saying. Well, okay, I really don't like some of the stuff they were putting out, but they really were not being the History Channel, and they still do things like American Pickers. I like Oak Island. I like Skinwalker Ranch.
But they should have stuff on every now and then that can be showed in a classroom.
But they're definitely going more into history. They've got a series. They've got several versions of that Built America series. They've had food. They've had machines. They've had. I know that they've done one that's like sex and booze, a little risque.
That's what the planet.
But they're about how various, like the food, how various American food companies really, with the fabric of the American way, and all that. So they're doing fabulous. That was kind of a squirrel moment, but what else?
I love you.
I'm telling you, that Coliseum is pretty good. Can you all tell I'm a history nerd?
I was about to say that.
Can you all tell I like my history?
No. Comment below on how little you actually realize she likes history. The more sarcastic, the better, please. You love me.
I do. Aren't you lucky?
You are too.
I have no announcements. Well, I have one announcement, and that is, so over the weekend there was a discussion in one of my challenge group chat about you Flosstubers that are now doing subscriber only content. I have feelings about this. They're not nice. I will never do that.
I guess my question, the subscriber-only content is supposed to be, like, for those that do 4 days a week of content, and they're adding a fifth to help to thank you for the subscribers, not give me your money.
Yeah, I do not watch any of the channels that have done the subscriber-only content. Mainly because I started dropping a lot of channels about a year and a half ago. I was just kind of tired of the soapboxes. I realize there are real life issues out there and they suck, but I'm here to give you a little bit of a break from real life. So me standing here on my soapbox telling you my opinion, it doesn't do it for anybody. You don't come here to hear you come here to see my cross stitch and hear my opinions about cross stitch. You don't need to hear my opinions about the rest of the world. My friends do hear it and we do talk about these topics, but that's something you do with your friends. So.
Yeah, okay, I will say one disclaimer. There are certain issues we do make a small break in that policy for, just because they're either really stupid people or really important bullshit or shippy going on.
Right, and
but we don't sit there and have the entire video about it.
I'm not going to stand on a soapbox for the first 5 minutes of my video talking about it. There are things that happen in the cross-stitch community, like this issue, which I think are absolutely ridiculous, and this is the one where I'm going to talk about it because I think it's ridiculous. But there are other things that come up in the cross-stitch community that I think are ridiculous, but I'm not going to talk on it, and I'm not going to, because you have your opinion, I have my opinion, and that's all there is. I personally don't think that having subscriber-only content adds value to a Flosstube.
Actually, I'm gonna be a little more broad than you. I don't think subscriber only adds anything to YouTube.
And I'm pretty sure that YouTube did it because
Patreon.
Because of Patreon, and YouTube now gets a cut of that subscriber-only content, and
Patreon still is better for the content creators.
I'm sure.
I've heard a few stories.
And as I told my group, I said, I try not to make our YouTubes an ad. You guys know if we're stitching something and you want to purchase it, you guys know we're an ONS. I may mention it in passing occasionally, just to remind you or grab new viewers and say, hey.
And of course, we link it in the description. Because,
and I have a link for it in the description. And if you want to support me and him and our channel, that's how you can do it. The end. I don't see the need for subscriber-only content in Flosstube. I don't see the need for cutting your free content. What I really don't see the need for is cutting your free content.
Wait, they're not adding the subtracting and moving
there are several channels. Through this conversation, I learned there are several channels who have cut their free content and are moving it to the subscriber-only platform, and I don't think that's right.
Would you like to know what most people who do the subscriber-only thing usually do?
And there are people who do the subscriber-only content.
May I finish what I was saying?
Probably what you're going to say.
No. They release it a day early for the subscribers.
And there are a few channels that they're doing that. They release their subscriber-only content a week, 2 weeks, a month later. They'll release it to the free content portion of the channel. But there are a few that have said that they're never going to release their subscriber-only content to the free channel because they want subscribers.
Which is very blatantly trying to don't be rude about the money grubbing jerks. Don't be rude about the money grubbing jerks.
I personally don't like Flosstubes that are under an hour that put ads in the middle of the Flosstube. I don't see that as necessary. Now I'm not gonna lie. If I'm watching your channel and you have an hour and a half, 2 hour Flosstube, and you are a monetized channel and you put an ad in the middle of that 2 hour Flosstube, probably won't complain. I get it. But there are people who have 15-minute Flosstubes that put ads in the middle of it.
I can tell you exactly why they do it too. You get bonus money from YouTube authorizing them to put an ad in the middle of your content.
Well,
I actually had a YouTuber, he said, why do I put ads in the middle of this? Because this is my only source of income and this is the only way I can make enough money to survive.
Well.
Because he actually had a video explaining why he put ads in the middle of his videos.
I just don't, especially on Flosstube. So, that's my little soapbox moment of the day. That's it. That's all I've got.
YouTube spiel time?
Yes, let's do the YouTube spiel.
Okay, please like, comment. By the way, the subscription and subscribing are two different things.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget what they actually call the non-pay for subscribe, please.
Do the bell notification, subscribe.
No, there's actually a subscribe that's subscribe, and then there's the pay for it subscribe.
I don't know what the paid for subscribe is. You don't have that option with my channel because I'm not big enough. But
I'm being curious now.
he's curious. No, we don't even have the option, and I will never have the option. So subscribe to our channel, and it's all free.
Yeah. Even when we get bigger, because in all honesty, this isn't our income.
I've been doing this for 4 years. I think I'm as big as I'm gonna get.
We do this for fun. If we were doing this for income, it would have lasted 6 months.
He's not wrong.
So we get 0.
So we put up new videos Tuesday. I put up the new video on Tuesday, but you know, if you want to click that notification button so that you get the reminder that we put up a new video, go for it.
Yeah. Or whenever we decide to post random stuff. It doesn't happen very often.
Random stuff. Yeah.
Usually we'll post a random video going, hey, we're not going to, because we can't put up community posts. So we might make a very short video going, hey, yeah, we're not filming this week because life decided to walk up and kick us in the tender bits.
Or, hey, we're going to be a day late. Or if I do need to put up a video promoting something for the ONS, I'll do it as its own video and not part of the weekly Flosstube. Because, again, I don't think it's fair. Because a lot of my friends do know what we're doing as far as the ONS, and I don't expect them to want to watch that. But that's it for this week. And I don't know. I had something else in my brain.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye. Have a great week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Yup.
Bye. Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
Laura.
I'm Joe.
We're like mid-conversation and he pushes the start button.
You said let's get started.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
I'm hitting the button and restarting.